Hey guys, welcome back to my beauty stash, or welcome if it is your first time here. Hello, my name is Steff. I would love to have you become part of our makeup family, so be sure to click on that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy watching. I am super excited for today's video because I'm going to be trying out the new Norvina Volume 6 Pro Pigment palette. Guys, I collect these palettes, so I have all 6 now, and this is what this year's color story looks like. We definitely have a very colorful palette, as most of the Norvina palettes are. They're usually very colorful, some colorful in more neutral ways. I think her last 2 releases with these Pro Pigment palettes, they were more, still colorful, but like on the neutral side. There were berry tones and violets, really pretty palettes. I've always had a great experience with these palettes. These are my favorite in all of the Anastasia Beverly Hills umbrella. These palettes, they just perform so well. Now, what's different with this palette than the others is we are getting 2 pressed glitters in here. So this shade right here, which is A2 and A4, those are pressed glitters, and we get a pretty much matte heavy eyeshadow palette. There's a couple shades in here, like this one down here, that are those sequin shades. So they're matte with a bit of a little sparkle to them that tends to blend itself out when you apply them on the lid. So we'll see. I've already swatched this palette. It's swatched fantastic. You get 25 shades and it does retail for $60. It is available right now on the ABH website. That is where I picked it up. But typically these go to Sephora. Some of them go to Ulta. Not all of the palettes make it to Ulta. But I'm hoping that we will see this during the VIB sale this year. So this is what the outward packaging looks like. I love it. If you follow Norvina or you follow ABH on Instagram, you've seen all the beautiful promotional pics. I love watching Norvina. She's so colorful. She's so fun. And I really love these palettes, and I'm a big fan of stars. Love stars. I also picked up, because they had them on sale, the Norvina Chroma stick. I got the purple one, which is called Violet. I'm always on the hunt for a good purple eyeliner. I want to say these retail for like $18 or $20, and I think I got it for like $15 or $14. It's a mechanical pencil, and I'm just going to swatch it back here. And that is the shade. So I gotta hurry up with this intro because I hear the train coming in the background and I don't want that to distract me. If you guys wanna see the 5, that's right, I'm gonna be creating 5 looks with this new Norvina Volume 6 eyeshadow palette. So if you guys wanna see all 5 looks, here are my thoughts on this palette, whether I think it's worth your $60 or not. Keep on watching. And guys, I forgot to mention, but I will have all of the products that I'm using, both on and off camera, linked in the description box of today's video. Some of those things might be affiliate links, so if you do end up shopping through them, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. So let's dive on into this palette. I've already primed my eyelids with the ABH Eyeshadow Primer. So once again, this is a very matte heavy eyeshadow palette, which I don't mind. I don't mind at all. I mean, you can always pull in shimmers from other palettes, maybe even some of your multi-chromes and duochromes, like from Terra Moons or Divina. Terra Moons, by the way, they have a new release coming out, like a spring equinox collection, I think. So definitely stay tuned for that. But what do I want to start with first? I'm going to be creating 5 looks today. I like that we get like a deeper row down here, and I'll give you guys some comparisons towards the end of the video. But I mean, I think I gotta do it. I think I gotta start off with this B2, this yellow shade right here, and maybe work into the greens. I will say, because I've swatched the palette already, these 2 shades, these 2 greens, they kind of swatched very, very similar to one another. So I'm gonna start with B2. I am going to work that like in the inner portion, the inner corner, and then I'll decide from there where I want to go. Now I'm going to take B2 on a Refer 13, and Refer, by the way, is having their 40% off site-wide sale today. I will have my affiliate link in the description box as well as in a pinned comment in case you want to shop the sale, stock up. Mother's Day is quickly approaching. I would say quickly approaching, about a month away here in the US. And if your mom loves makeup and maybe she's been complaining that she needs some new makeup brushes, some new makeup tools, these Refer brushes, these are natural hair, these are undyed, uncut goat hair brushes. They are fantastic. They are solid. I mean, they take a beating and they keep on going. Love the shade, beautiful. Guys, I've rarely had a bad experience with any of these Norvina palettes. Like, they've all been really good, really solid. I don't expect this to be any different. I think it's going to be a very, very good palette. I have very high expectations for it. And judging by this first shade, I think we're off to a very good start. I think I'm gonna go into the orange. So this is like one of those sequin shades. It has a little bit of a shimmer to it. I'm gonna go in with D2. And I'm taking that on a Refer 14. Wow, look at that. And I'm gonna do this like in the crease and all out here. There's a little bit of kick up in the pan, which is typical with these palettes. I'm getting fallout, but I think that's from the mascara. I've had this face of makeup on all day, guys. Like, I'm going on 12 hours now, and I'm actually wearing the new Makeup Revolution foundation, the IRL filter foundation. You guys saw that video go up before you see this one that went up yesterday, the day before. So hopefully y'all have checked that out, because that's what I have going on. This was the day 2 wear test, and it did really well, so spoiler alert. Okay, this shadow is perfect. It blended out so well. Now on this Refer 13, I'm gonna go into shade E2, and we do get a matte black in here, but I'm gonna use this shade right out here. Let's see what this is gonna look like. I don't really have a plan. I never plan out my looks. I mean, sometimes I think about looks, but honestly, it's whenever I just sit down with a palette and, I mean, whatever I think in the moment that's gonna look good, I go for it and I try it out. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I'm gonna add a little bit more of D2, which is the orange. Now with this Refer 26, I'm gonna go into shade D3 right here. And this is the one that is like the sequin shade. I'm just gonna add a little bit right in here. And you'll see that there's not really any sparkle. It's mainly just kind of like an overspray. I don't always understand, you know, the purpose of a shade like this. I mean, either make it a matte or make it a shimmer. So I don't know that I'm going to do any shimmer on the lid. I'm going to go back in with B2, which is the yellow. Now this does say that it is a face and body palette. And some of the shades are technically not intended for use around the immediate eye area, as is with all of these palettes. That's why they're not called eyeshadow palettes. They're called pressed pigment or pro pigment palettes. But I've never had any issue with any of the shades or anything. For the lower lash line, I think, should we keep it the same color scheme or should we do something different? Let's do, I think I'm going to go in with this shade right here, with shade E1. And I'm taking that on a Refer 02. Now I'm picking up a little bit of B2, the yellow, and I'm just dragging it down a bit. And guys, the mascara that I'm going to be using, which I have on right now, is the L'Oreal Voluminous Noir Balm Mascara, in case you were wondering. Alright guys, so I think I'm going to leave the look here. I'm going to add those finishing touches off camera, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 1. Alright guys, so here's the completed look number 1. I added some more of the L'Oreal mascara. This is the one I'll be using throughout the video. For the top lash line, I went in with this new Moira Cosmetics. What's new to me? This is the Micro Tip Liquid Eyeliner in black. And then for the waterline, I went in with the Norvina Chroma Stick, the one I picked up, and this one is in the shade Violet. So far, so good. I like the way this look turned out. No shimmer, just a nice all matte look. I think the matte shadows performed really well. So we're off to a really good start. Let's jump on over to the left eye and start working on look number 2. So I'm kind of wanting to save the 2 pressed glitters for the last couple looks. So I think I want to do, why am I just now noticing the white shade? I was like, we have a matte black over here. Where's the matte white? And it's the first shade. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I think I want to do something with the greens. I see that we have E3 right here, which is a darker green. So I'm going to be working with these 3 shades, B3 through B5. And I'm going to start with shade B5 on a Rephr 15, and I'm just going to be packing that in the crease. All right, I like that shade. That looks really pretty. Now on a Rephr 14, I'm picking up the shade B3. Okay, so now I can see the difference between these 2 shades. I was kind of thinking, like, when I swatched them, they looked a little too similar, but I'm seeing the difference on the lid, which is good. So this B3 is more of like a Kelly green, and B5 had a little bit of a blue, like a tealness to it. And they just blend together so well. That's what I love about these palettes. And you can totally mix and match your palettes. I think you can pop out the shades and make your own Norvina palette. I mean, now that there's 6 different palettes, that would be a lot of fun. Going back in with a little bit of B5. Now on a Rephr 28, I'm going to go in with shade B1. I think I'm going to do a matte white inner corner. All right, now I'm going to go in with shade B4, which is this one right here, and I'm going to work that on the lower lash line. And I'm taking that on a Rephr 26. Now I'm picking up the matte white, which is shade A1, on this little ABH Cosmetics pencil brush, and I'm just going to focus that right here on the inner corner. Now I'm picking up some of B1 on this Rephr 26, and I'm going to add that right below this shade. All right, guys, let me add some liner and a little bit more mascara, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 2. All right, guys, here's the completed look number 2. I love it. I think the pop of white in the inner corner is perfect. That's exactly what the look needed. I am so impressed by how easy these shades are just blending with one another. I'm not always the best at creating all matte looks, but I have to say I am pretty pleased with the 2 that I have created so far. Of course, I added some more mascara for the lower waterline. I went in with this one from NYX. It is the Epic Wear eyeliner in the shade Blue Trip. Love this one, perfect with the look. The black eyeliner I will be using is the one from Moira, and that's what I have going on the top lash line. And I'm just noticing I got a little bit of mascara right there. I'll have to remove that in a bit. Well, actually, I think I'm going to be removing both of these looks because I'm creating 5 looks, so that really doesn't matter. But so far, very impressed, very pleased. Let me go ahead, take this off so I can come back and we can start creating some more looks with the Norvina Volume 6. Alright guys, I did want to mention that now I have on a different eyeshadow primer. I'm going in with this one from Moira. It's an all white eyeshadow primer. It's called the Prolong Priming Cream Shadow in the shade 01 White. So I had gotten this. If you saw my video from over the weekend, it was a Moira Beauty haul. This was one of the items that I picked up. I picked up the white and I picked up like the flesh tone one, and I hadn't worn the white one, and I bought the white one specifically for this palette, for this video, so I wanted to be sure I gave that a shot. Now let's dive into this. Now I definitely want to use the shimmers in these next 3 looks. So, and we only have 4 shimmers up here. Well, 2 shimmers and 2 pressed glitters. Okay, so I think I'm going to work with the purples right now. I'm going to start with a shade C4 and then probably go into C1 and then C5. I'm taking C4 on a Refer 12. This is a really pretty shade. Kind of almost like a periwinkle. Now I'm going in with shade C5 on a Refer 13. Love that. That looks so pretty. Now on a Refer 26, I'm picking up C1. Just look at how well these matte shades are blending in with one another. This is so good. I don't think I've ever done an all matte look with one of these palettes. Nothing that I can recall off the top of my head. So it's nice to use them, the shades, in different ways. I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, A3. It's like a silver. And I'm using it on a damp Refer 21. I'm using a Refer 3. I think I'll just take it all the way. No, well, not all the way, but like right here. Adding a little bit more of C5. Now on a Refer 26, I think I'm gonna go in with D5, this one right here. Now on a damp Refer 03, I'm going back in with shade A3. Now on this little pencil brush, I'm going in with shade E5, which is the matte black, and I'm just going to keep that really close to the lash line. Going back in with shade D5. All right, guys, let me add some liner and a little bit more mascara, and I'll be right back to show you this 3rd look. All right, guys, here's a completed look number 3. I added in the waterline an LA Girl Neon Shockwave lip liner in the shade Blaze. I've used this several times in the waterline and it always works so well. Love it, love it. Same mascara and top eyeliner from Moira. And this is the look. Love it. Love a good purple moment. Let's move over to the left eye and start working on look number 4. Okay, so for look number 4, we're going to be working with the pressed glitter right now. I think I'm going to work with shade A4 because that is a pressed glitter. So what I'm going to do, I think I'm going to start, let's see, I want to use this shade down here, E4. I haven't used that one yet, but I think I need to do something kind of light in the crease. So I'm going to go in with B1 and then work my way into E4 and then come back up to A4, which is the pressed glitter. And I'm taking shade B1 on a Refer 12. All right, so I'm gonna leave it like this. I will blend out the edge a little bit better once I get done adding E4. E4 is the dark blue, and I am going to just apply that all over the lid, kind of just smoke it out all over the lid. I'm using the Refer 28. Guys, this shade does not have any sparkle to it. I think it was just what was left over on the brush. But that's okay because I'm going to be putting a shimmer or the pressed glitter on top of this, so it really doesn't matter. But just in case you were wondering, no, this is a matte blue, no sequin, no glitter, no nothing. It's just the brush. Now I'm picking up some more of E4, but this time on a Refer 13, just so I can start blending this into the crease. I think those two shades look amazing with one another. So I'm gonna leave it like that. Now I'm gonna go in with shade A4, which is the pressed glitter. I'm not gonna do any glitter glue just because I'm going to be removing these eye looks in a second. So I'm just going to use, let's see, I'm going to use my Morphe M124. I'm not going to spray it either because these pressed glitters do have a little bit of tackiness to them. So they'll kind of like adhere to the lid all by itself. Look at how stunning that is though. Wow. And look, I didn't get any fallout. Not bad. I didn't even spray the brush. Okay, so I don't think I'm gonna add any more. I'm just gonna leave it alone because then I will most definitely get fallout. But what I'm gonna do to the lower lash line, I'm just gonna continue with the two shades that I used up here. I'm just gonna bring them down to the bottom. So this is shade B1 on a Refer 12. I think I'll do the matte white on the inner corner. And actually, I'm changing brushes. I'm going to the 26, the Refer 26. Gotta make sure I get that little corner here that I always miss. Now with the Refer 26, I'm picking up E4. Now I'm picking up A1, the matte white, on a little pencil brush. Matte white with blue is gorgeous. Ooh, let me add liner, touch up the mascara, and I'll be right back to show you the completed look number 4. All right, guys, so here's the completed look number 4. I love it. I love the blue. And look at that pressed glitter. It almost doesn't even look like a pressed glitter, but it is. It's most definitely a pressed glitter. So I mean, I didn't get any fallout from it. It did really well on its own without any glitter glue. I think if you're gonna wear it all day though, I would definitely recommend wearing it with some glitter glue. But for me that I'm just wearing it for a few minutes, I think it's perfect. I love the way this look came out. I mean, the pop of white in the inner corner, I think it makes the entire look. I'm gonna remove this eye look and I will come back so we can start creating the 5th and final look. Guys, I forgot to mention, but over here in the waterline, I'm using this one from Give by Gwen Stefani. It is the eyeliner in the shade Bathwater. It's like a blue shimmer. It is really nice. I've actually been using the black one a lot. Like I use this black one almost every time that I film just to kind of tight line up here on the top lash line. Both of these eyeliners, fantastic. Let's start creating the 5th and final look with Miss Norvina Volume 6. So I'm definitely going to be using this pressed glitter right here. It's like an iridescent pressed glitter. And unfortunately, I didn't get to dive into this one. This is a shimmer. This is not a pressed glitter. So let's see. Or maybe I can use that on the lower lash line. I want to use some shades that I have not used. I haven't used shade D4, E3, the dark green. I haven't used the dark green. Can you believe that? So this was the dark green down here. I haven't used this shade either. So I think I'll do shade B3. I'm going to do that in the crease and I'm going to deepen it up with E3, the dark green, and then we'll take it from there. So I'm taking shade B3 on a Refer 15 and I'm just going to work this in the crease. Now on a Refer 14, I'm picking up E3, which is the dark green. These are blending together really nicely. And I did apply more of the Moira eyeshadow primer, the white one. Now I think I'm gonna add the matte white on the lid, and then I'm gonna apply the shimmer on top of it. Is that what I wanna do? Let's just try that. Let's see how that's gonna look. All right, so I'm using the Refer 28. I am really happy that there's a matte white and a matte black in this palette. I think it was definitely necessary and it came in handy. Now with this Morphe M124, I'm picking up shade A2, which is the pressed glitter. The iridescent pressed glitter. Oh wow. It's like a red reflect. You know, there's no red in this palette. I'm just noticing right now. So not entirely a rainbow palette. I mean, close, but maybe a little bit of a grungy rainbow palette. No glitter glue. I didn't spray the brush. That's not bad. Definitely has tackiness to it. And look, I'm layering. Uh-oh, I felt something. Felt something over here. The thing with pressed glitters is you don't want to keep layering. You want to just get it down and then don't mess with it. I'm gonna leave the top lid alone. For the lower lash line, I think I'm gonna go in with E3, which is the dark green, and I'm taking that on a Refer 26. Now I'm picking up some of the glitter. I'm just gonna add it right there. You want to be careful when you're working with pressed glitter this close to the eye. It's not always, you know, recommended. And if you have very sensitive eyes, then I don't recommend doing it right here. On the lid would be fine, but not this close. I think I'm gonna add some of the matte white, and then I'm gonna put some of the glitter on top of it. See, that's what happens when you mess with it, when you keep trying to layer pressed glitter. It doesn't like that. Okay, so not finishing off as strong as I would have hoped. And it's just the inner corner really. But yeah, you can see I don't love working with pressed glitter. And this is why. So I'm gonna go off camera, I'm gonna fix this really quick, add some eyeliner, a little bit more mascara, and I'll be right back to show you the fifth and final look. All right guys, so here's the completed look number 3. Not crazy about the pressed glitter. Like I don't mind it up here, but I really shouldn't have taken it down here. I added a little bit of the highlighter that I'm wearing right now from Be Perfect. This is the Polar Vortex highlighter in the shade Pink Icicle. So I kind of added that a little bit on the inner corner, but yeah, not my favorite look out of the 5. For the lower lash line, I went in with the ColourPop Cream Gel Liner. This one is in the shade Teaspoon. And of course, some more L'Oreal Noir Balm Mascara and the Moira Black Eyeliner on the top lash line. Let me go ahead and wrap up today's video, share with you my final thoughts on the Norvina Volume 6 palette, and I'm also going to give you a couple of recommendations. Alright guys, so now that I created 5 looks with the new Norvina Volume 6 eyeshadow palette, I have to say it's a pretty decent performing eyeshadow palette. I mean, this doesn't perform any different than volumes 1 through 5. I love all of those eyeshadow palettes. I think they're fantastic. I've just always been a fan of this Norvina series. I do collect them, so for me this was going to be a no-brainer that I was going to pick it up. We do get 25 different shades. Unfortunately, there are 2 pressed glitters. It really could have lived without shade A2. I think for me that was like the dud of the palette, but nevertheless guys, I managed to use almost all the shades. I didn't get to dip into A5. I didn't get into shade D4, and I think that was it. I think I managed to use all of the other shades Other than that, I like the way the palette swatched. The matte shades are really buttery, creamy, smooth. And the two shimmer shades that are in here, which are A3 and A5, they swatched really well, and A3 looked beautiful on the lid. I did like this pressed glitter A4. That is what I have over here. This one looks perfect. It didn't give me any issues. It was just A2 that was like, I don't know. But I'm really glad that she gave us a matte white and a matte black down here. And I really love this bottom row of deeper shadows that complement everything else up here. This is kind of like maybe a little bit of a pastel palette, like just some of the shades, not all of them, but it also is a different take on a rainbow palette. This could be a little bit more grungy because of these this row down here of deeper shades. But I want to show you some other alternatives. Now, I saw a lot of people saying that this volume 6 was really similar to volume 2. So here they are side by side. I think you can definitely see those similarities. I mean, let me know what you think, but yeah, some of these shades are a little too familiar. Here's volume 2. So definitely like some of the greens and the yellow, of course the black down here, and even like the pink and the orange. We definitely see a little bit of that over here in volume 6, to where it kind of is a bit redundant. So maybe if you have volume 2, you might not really feel the need to pick up volume 6, especially because it does have pressed glitters. And this is the only palette out of the Norvina ones to include pressed glitters. I'm a little bit disappointed with that. I don't really enjoy working with pressed glitters all that often because they just, you know, they don't go away. The glitter doesn't go away. You know, it stays up here like on your vanity, on your makeup brushes. Once you apply it, like it's with you for life. Another palette, another option if you want to stay on the rainbow train would be the Fade into Hue palette by ColourPop. This one does contain pressed glitters as well. So if you need to have pressed glitters, this is a more affordable option. I want to say this is like $35. And of course, you know, ColourPop is always having sales. The only thing with this palette is you don't get a lot of those deeper tones that you get in the volume 6. And then I pulled out the new Juvia's Place Culture palette. I've had a really good time with this Culture palette, a really good experience. This is maybe a little bit more neutral leaning out of all of these palettes, because you do get, you know, a little bit of neutral tones over here. You have this column right here that could really go neutral as well. But you do have blues and greens and pinks and purples, just like the Norvina volume 6. And is there a pressed glitter? Was this one a pressed glitter? No, there are no pressed glitters in this palette. So if you don't want something with pressed glitter, but you still want a colorful palette, this one from Juvia's Place is a nice one, and it is already available on the Ulta website. I think this one is like $35 or $36, so a really good price point, and Juvia's Place does make some amazing eyeshadow palettes. Another palette that I want to show you guys, I'm going to put a picture of it right here, is the Blend Bunny Surge palette. A lot of people, I've seen those comments, were saying that this new Norvina volume 6 was really reminding them of the Blend Bunny Surge palette. I do plan on picking this up whenever I place my next Blend Bunny Cosmetics order, because I had such an amazing time with the Dollhouse palette. You all really seem to love that video, and you really seem to love Blend Bunny, so I definitely want to feature more of them on my channel. And rest assured, the Surge palette will definitely make its way into my stash. Another palette that I did want to mention that is coming up on April 1st or 2nd, starting at Walmart and then in all Wet n Wild retailers, is the collaboration with Care Bears. I get PR from Wet n Wild. I don't get everything, and I don't get it like right when the things launch. So I am planning to pick up the PR box, hopefully, if it doesn't sell out. I remember playing with Care Bears when I was younger, so this is just a throwback, but I love buying the Wet n Wild PR boxes. Like, I've just always done that. I've done it for years. I really enjoy the products, some more than others, but especially now that I have my YouTube channel, I definitely want to buy this and try it out for you guys. Some of you have already tagged me in posts. don't worry, I see the tags and it's already on my list, but this particular palette has some pressed glitters in it, and it is a rainbow palette, and of course it is going to be more affordable than the Norvina Volume 6. Volume 6 is $60. I think this eyeshadow palette by itself is $15, so that is definitely going to be a more affordable price point. I will be sure to post when this is live where you can find it, but it is going to Walmart first. All right, guys, so that wraps up my Norvina Volume 6 5 looks review alternatives video. Definitely let me know what you thought of the palette. Which look was your favorite? Are you team 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5? None? Sound off in the comments down below and let me know if you guys are going to be picking this palette up. I don't know yet when it's going to go to Sephora. I don't know if it's going to go to Ulta. Right now it is only available on the ABH website and on Beauty Bay. It is in Europe. It's in Europe. So those of you, my European beauties out there that are watching me, you guys have been able to buy this before we have, because it launched over there like a week before it launched over here. So I'm sure you guys, those of you that picked it up, you've been enjoying it already. But sound off in the comments down below. Let me know what you thought of today's video. And don't forget, guys, that the Rougher Brush sale starts today. I will have my link in a pinned comment of today's video, and it is always in my description box of all of my videos. And happy shopping! Refer sale, Sephora sale, all of the sales, none of the sales, whatever you plan to do, have fun doing it. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink your water. Cheers. And I will see you all very soon. Bye.